the Full Circle with myself, Bridget Masinga, right here on SAFM, giving you a little bit of a moment to just breathe, take it all in, and digest everything that has been said and presented thus far. And we're going to endeavor to just to squeeze in as much as we possibly can by way of conversation that takes you away from the seriousness, if only for just a moment. Today we're focusing on all things Joy of Jazz in our Joy of Jazz hour as we prepare to gear up for that festival that's happening at the end of next weekend. We're going to be catching up with Velimsini, who is a Swazi-born singer-songwriter, one of the performers who's going to be on stage, in fact, at the Joy of Jazz come the weekend. Looking forward to getting to hear her in song, but also in conversation with us this afternoon. How are you doing, Velimsini? You good?
I'm great, Bridget. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How is Swaziland?
Swaziland is a little misty today, but overall, not so chilly.
Not so chilly, not so chilly. Let's get into it. We opened up the show with the song Barely. Perhaps a bit of context around that particular piece as, we get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you. So, yeah, Barely, it's actually one of my personal faves as well. Contextually, I would say it's very much centered, it's talking about sort of the wear and tear of a long-term relationship where if you have two avoidant people, you can kind of have a long-term dragged out and very gloomy relationship. So that's some of the imagery that I try to express in that. And then, the jazz influence, I think, is very evident sonically as well. But yeah, it's a reflection of my sound, which is primarily African soul.
Yeah. And in fact, from what I hear from, fans of yourself, your music seems very much infused with the rhythms and melodies of African heritage. And you bring a lot of your SYD heritage into the mix. Tell us about, just the beginning stages of your career and where the love and the passion for music was ignited.
I've always been part of a church choir, for as long as I can remember. So I think those were the first sort of indulgence into the vocals. But in terms of my sound, I'm very much influenced by Swazi gospel. I know we're very much known for that in the region, in terms of the harmony and the vocal technique. But if I must confess, my vocal approach, I 100% copied my mother.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. She's an amazing singer herself.
Oh, wonderful. Does she still sing, or is it just the passion?
It's a passion, but it's something that's
Oh, I think we're losing some connection there between ourselves and the kingdom of Eswatini. We're going to try to reconnect again with Velimsini, who is taking to the stage at this year's Joy of Jazz. She's back on the line? Okay, let's see if our connection will hold. We are international, by the way, as much as Eswatini is, we like to call our back door Sumastandi, and they are the back door neighbor, but they're still international. You were saying that your mom, is very much passionate about music, a vocalist herself, though not doing it professionally from what I gather.
No, she's a singer at church. That's pretty much the extent of it.
The way you say that, like if she's listening to the conversation, she'd be like, "Put some respect on me being a soloist at church."
But she does have ambitions to sing. I'm just saying, that's where her calling is in the church.
Okay.
But she's a wonderful vocalist, yes.
Yeah. You say that a lot of your sound is influenced by sort of the Swazi gospel genre. How very different is that sonically from what we hear this side of the border?
It's not, I would say, incredibly different, but just based on some of the research that I've done myself, I would say that the Swazi gospel sound is what influenced the more popular and more mainstream approach to, I guess, contemporary gospel. So I'm just shouting out my Swazi people to say that they did heavily influence the general gospel sound in the region. And there are a lot of Swazi South Africans that are well known,
Yeah.
but if you look into their heritage, they're very much born and raised in the kingdom.
Yeah. So you
So it's
also, you're not just a vocalist, but you're also a guitarist in your own right. And your first debut project was We Are People in 2014, if I'm not mistaken, right? Walk us through sort of that project and how that came about, but also just reflecting back now, since then, how much of an evolution your music has had.
Yeah, 2014, it seems like eons ago. But that first project, it holds a special place in my heart because I think it, as an artist, a professional, songwriter, singer-songwriter, I think that was the project that felt like the real affirmation that this is something I have a place in. This is something I can have impact onto other people, other artists, other young people as well. And so, yeah, I love that project. The sound, it's very much sort of a jazz influence. I've got a lot of like double bass sounds, horns. Some of the production was done in France. So I'm very proud of that project. But in terms of evolution, I think I've evolved heavily as an artist. I've branched out I've experimented a lot with house music. I love house music. I've got some songs with one of our best producers in the country, Sibu Manzini, for example. And so also, but to come, I've got a song coming out in a few weeks, and I think that would be a nice surprise for the people who've supported me long term. I think it's very different. It's more African soul, but very contemporary and upbeat and fun. So it's a nice change for me.
The other thing that I actually am very curious about is the music scene in Eswatini. I think a lot of us, unless you are a festival reveler and a music enthusiast who indulges, and listens to artists from all over the continent, a lot of us might not be familiar with what the scene is like in Eswatini at the moment. Can you give us a little bit of a glimpse of what's happening on the ground?
On the ground, I mean, obviously, in terms of big platforms, I think a lot of us have heard of Bushfire Festival,
Yeah.
the MTN Bushfire Festival. So that is one of the pinnacles of, bookings that you can get in the country and experiences for the arts and everything. But in terms of just like up and coming sounds and everything, I think Swaziland is really buzzing right now. Eswatini is buzzing. We have a lot of untapped directions as a country that we have taken. I think the world hasn't heard a lot from us. We have our beloved Uncle Waffles, and she's making global waves. But I think in terms of some of the alternative sounds, the world hasn't heard much from us, and so it's a great time to be a Swazi artist. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I chuckle when you make mention of Uncle Waffles because of the great South African Eswatini debate. Ukuthi, who does Uncle Waffles belong to? And I think a lot of I know by birth, you all stake claim, but a lot of South Africans are like, actually, hold a minute,
Right.
Willem Seni.
Well, the beautiful thing about Swaziland, Eswatini, and South Africa is that we are basically cousins.
Yes.
There are a lot of, you would be surprised at how many well-known public figures are half Swazi.
Oh, yes.
Or VP, I think I heard recently Maggie Yvonne Chaka Chaka has some Swazi heritage.
Yes.
So we're family.
No, absolutely. We are family indeed. Backdoor neighbors. You mentioned the likes of Joan Amatrading, the likes of Grace Jones, the likes of Tsepotula as people who've imprinted the most on your sound. How has their music and I guess they also just their journeys and their careers inspired you as an African artist?
I think definitely Jonah Trading, and I can also mention Tracy Chapman. They were groundbreaking in terms of their guitar skills, but also that acoustic, soulful writing style. I think that had a huge impact on my approach. These are songs I've been listening to since I had a choice on what I could listen to. Songs that my parents loved to play growing up. So definitely, it's a grassroots influence, one that I maybe didn't even choose, but it's definitely a big part of who I am and my sound. Yeah, and then Babetse Potsola, just the vocal approach. I think he also has some signature like waves and sounds that he does with his voice that I picked up.
Yeah.
Something my mother also does similar things. So I think when you listen to my voice, you can hear that strong influence. It's lovely. Yeah.
Well, listen, we're looking forward to seeing you on stage at the Joy of Jazz. This was a great introduction, and I can't wait to see what you bring to your South African audiences. I know a lot of people are very excited to see you come next weekend. Thank you so much for the time, and we can't wait to see you, and we can't wait to visit you in Swaziland in your own backyard and get to experience life through your eyes one day. That was Velimsini, who is a Swazi-born singer-songwriter, a guitarist as well, and she's going to be on stage at the Joy of Jazz this coming weekend. It's just gone 1:30 o'clock. We're going to pause here for Ondela to come through with the headline news. Give us a recap of everything that is making the headlines today, and then we'll come back and continue.
Thank you, Bridget. On the news headlines, the Sol Plaatje municipality in the Northern Cape has given a law firm 30 days to probe allegations of corruption and maladministration leveled against their suspended municipality manager, Thapelo Matlala. And KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has dismantled claims by controversial Northwest businessman Bron Mokgotsi that he is a police informant. And Springbok Regional Court in the Northern Cape has sentenced a 25-year-old man to 15 years in prison for raping and kidnapping his former partner in 2024. A full update follows at the top of the hour.
SFM, playing the music you want to hear.
Valentina. Shisa is the name of this particular song, and she's going to be joining the lineup at this year's Standerbank Joy of Jazz. Coming up next, we're going to be in conversation with Steve Berry, who's a renowned 3-time award-winning Ghanaian jazz saxophonist, and also someone who's coming through for the festival next weekend. Let's take a quick pause, and then we'll be right back.
Oh, hello. Let's do a little word association. I'll say some phrases, you see how they make you feel. Retirement, credit card balance, another interest rate hike. Still calm? Well then, you've got the F Factor. It's that special something that comes from having a clear financial plan to manage and protect your finances. If you broke into a sweat, you probably don't have it yet. Visit livewithconfidence.co.za to up your F Factor. Sanlam. Live with confidence. T's and C's apply. Sanlam Life is a licensed life insurer and authorized FSP.
Spar brings you super savings. Get 1 kg D-Lite 37% fat spread tub for $34.99 and 100 megs free data on Spar Mobile, or 200 gram Baker's Murray biscuits, any two for 30 Rand, and 100 megs free data on Spar Mobile. Plus, you could win your share of 6 million Rand in instant cash. Price is valid until 22 September 2025. While stocks last, T's and C's apply.
In fitness, as in finance, endurance is key. If you're 55 and older, you can get an interest rate of up to 10.62% with a Nedbank Electronic Optimum Plus account. Now feel the earn. Invest in under 2 minutes on the Money app and get money fit with Nedbank. See money differently. Nedbank. We're licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. For more info, visit nedbank.co.za.
Masandawana ladies are not willing to settle for anything less than victory. However, First Touch ladies are confident they can silence the defending champions. This is the Hollywood Men's Super League. Catch Mamelodi Sundowns ladies versus First Touch ladies on Sunday 21 September at 2:30 p.m. Live on SABC 1 and everywhere for everyone, always on SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport. For the love of the game.
Embark on your journey to success with the Durban University of Technology. Applications for 2026 first-year students are now open.
This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Yeah. Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Yeah. Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is...
It is a music offering by Steve Berry, a renowned three-time award-winning Ghanaian jazz saxophonist, and he's going to be taking to the stage at this year's Joy of Jazz, making part of that lineup of over 50 artists descending on the Sandton Convention Center. And this particular song is This Day. Good afternoon to you, Steve. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Bridget. I'm doing great. Yourself?
I'm fantastic. So the conversation in studio between myself, my producers, my tech producers, as we listen to the song, you know, a lot.
Awesome. I appreciate that, and thanks to your listeners and everybody that is, deliberating on this. The truth about the song is that I am a lover of South African jazz. I'm a lover of, South African music in general. Maybe in my past life, I was a South African. I never know. You never know. So, and also along the line, I mean, in my career, I've been kind of drawn to the late legend Huma Sekela, Bra Huma Sekela. So when I was putting together the song, having had some, performances with him personally, I thought, okay, the love of South African jazz and for the love of, South Africa, I would like to do something that mimics, a South African vibe, and then somewhere along there putting in some kind of, Ghanaian high life, movements in the chordal progressions here and there. So I think that is what actually happened in that song. And I was just, mimicking, South African music, South African jazz, or everything South African in that song. And I want to be able to remember that, hey, on this day, something shifted, something happened. And it resonates with me on that level. So I named it This Day. And this day to remember South Africa, to remember everything, jazz about South Africa.
Yeah. I mean, that makes perfect sense. And I think the room goes, aha, collectively. Let's just get also a scene or a picture of what the Ghanaian jazz scene looks like at the moment. For those of us I've been to Accra for like 2 weeks, but that's not enough to immerse yourself in the culture of a people and to get the essence of everything artistic. What is the scene like, and how is it evolving, particularly in jazz in Ghana at the moment?
Well, the jazz, community in Ghana is really growing day by day. Years ago or decades ago, it never used to be as vibrant, as it is today. But I must say that it's growing very fast. There are lots of, places within Accra that, you find jazz music happening every time of the week, especially Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and during the weekends. And I must say that those who are the predecessors of, the genre have done quite a great job. And those who also kept the hopes alive and jazz alive in Ghana have done a great job, because it is actually growing very, very, very fast. Lots of jazz music festivals, happening in Ghana. And we must applaud, Standard Bank for what they're doing. And Stanbic Bank in Ghana also did, quite a number of jazz festivals, and other outfits also did that. And to be honest, apart from South Africa and other places that, we know across the continent about jazz or that do jazz festivals, Ghana is one big hub that is actually fast growing in terms of jazz music.
So, Steve, and pardon the lack of ignorance from my end, but how did you come to pick up a saxophone and the passion for this particular genre of music? Where did that grow from?
Well, it's a long story, but I'm going to put it very, very, very short. I started, playing the trombone when I was way younger. And one day I saw somebody play the saxophone on TV. Those days we had black and white TV. So, that was the first time I saw that instrument and never knew about it. And I thought, wow, the sound of it is great. And the shape is just fascinating, so I have to look for that. Years went by, and I finally, I found one. And trust me, it's almost spiritual. It's like when I found it, I blew it, and something just sunk inside me, and I felt like this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the instrument you got to play. And, when that happens, it's a total shift. And when that happens, you feel it within your bones, every marrow within your bones, that this is the instrument your soul resonates with.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I just kept it. And immediately I said, sorry, trombone, I have to leave you now. I have to shift to the saxophone. And then that was it. I never looked back when I picked up the saxophone.
Oh, the poor trombone. You've played a prolific role by way of your contribution to Ghanaian music, and obviously in particular influencing young jazz artists. How important is it for the likes of yourselves to sort of chart that pathway and to ensure that the continuous growth and also the evolution and inclusion of the space to younger artists?
It was really important to me then and still important to me now because there was, I think, my time when I was growing up, music was great. However, there was a gap. There was a gap between, people or youngsters plugging into jazz music or, doing contemporary African jazz music. So when I had the opportunity to plug in or get into the limelight, I thought it would be a great idea to start from then, just imparting, this knowledge and the understanding of African jazz into the younger folks that are learning instruments. So I feel like it's something we ought to do because when I started and, when the youngsters started picking up with saxophone, I was so happy, like, okay, so just one appearance on TV or somewhere has actually done a great job like this. So I took it up like, hey, let's do this. So the education of it and also throwing light on the fact that we need to get the youngsters to plug back into music, to pick up an instrument, especially the saxophone, and not just the saxophone, but any kind of instrument at all, to just let them grow and create a platform for them to be able to shine, So I think it's one thing that is on my heart that I don't think I'm ever going to stop yet. But, hey, it's a great thing, and I'm happy that it's doing the magic. Is getting a lot of youngsters in the country to plug into saxophone, today. And sometimes when I see some of them playing my songs or doing certain things that I have done in the past, it brings me chills and makes me feel like, yeah, I might have not done it all, but I have done something.
You've done the most important things. Yeah. Just as we wrap it up, you set to perform at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz next weekend here in Sandton. And I wonder when you get to perform outside of your native country and you've performed all over the globe now, the sense of taking your music to different audiences. What is that sort of lived experience like? Because I figure every audience is different and gives a different kind of energy.
Right. Well, the truth is, music is a universal language, and it has no barrier at all. And South Africa, it's It's a big hub, when it comes to jazz music or contemporary African music or all kinds of music, across the globe. So it's a great opportunity for me to be sharing stage, with great other greats on this bill at Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2025. And I can't promise everything, but I must promise everybody that it's going to be a great show. We're bringing Ghana to South Africa. We're going to give them a great show. It's going to be fantastic. The lineup we have is great, and I can't wait to just, share the stage and give out the best I can, to South African music listeners or jazz lovers. And it's going to be great. Hey, guys, it's going to be great. When I say that it's going to be great, it's going to be great because we've been working hard behind the scenes to make this a great show.
Wonderful.
So we're not playing. We're not playing. We're not playing at all.
Looking forward to it.
We're not playing.
Steve Betty, thank you so much for the time, and we'll definitely see you next weekend on stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. That was a 3-time award-winning Ghanaian jazz saxophonist Steve Betty coming through, and he's going to be headlining, one of the headliners at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. That is it for this break hour right now. We're getting set to go back to the Madlanga Commission to hear more testimony from General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and of course we're going to also break down some of the day's conversations and allegations, information, and everything else that has been unveiled during the course of this morning's session. Sakina's coming up, and then of course Ashraf will also be around at some point. It's a fluid lineup right now, a fluid schedule, so we just take it hour by hour, day by day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Inshallah, God willing, we do it again.
Embark on your journey to success with the Durban University of Technology. Applications for 2026 first-year students are now open across our 6 faculties. Closing dates vary, so don't wait. Check detailed entry requirements on dut.ac.za. Apply today through the Central Applications Office at cao.ac.za. DUT and Vision 2030, creative, distinctive, impactful.
Kabuskop is highly spirited to triumph in Rwanda, but Amakosi have a mandate to collect 3 points on foreign soil. This is the first preliminary round of the CAF Confederation Cup. Be part of this superb first leg contest. Kabuskop SCP versus Kaizer Chiefs. This Saturday, 20 September at 5 p.m. Live on SABC2 and SABC Plus. Proudly brought to you by SABC Sport.
Mzansi, don't miss out on playing Powerball and Powerball Plus for a life-changing 143 million rand in total estimated jackpots this Friday. Don't delay. Play Powerball for an estimated 77 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 66 million rand today.
This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for a finance guy, hey?
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
Corruption in South Africa has reached disgraceful levels.
First things first, let's get to my daily that's my point feature. So, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo cry yesterday?
This is SAFM. This is SAFM.
Just tell me about how this concert series fits in with what you are trying to do with these young people.
The reality is that private funders do not just thoughtlessly throw their resources around.
It is one thing to get a backtrack like that for
Yeah.
a finance guy, hey?
Yeah.
Somebody just WhatsApped me to say that she has a daughter who has hearing loss.
On the top story, probe into corruption allegations against Sol Plaatje municipal manager, and drone strike on a mosque kills 40 people in Sudan. For SAFM News, I'm Ondelambana, and a very good day. The Sol Plaatje municipality in the Northern Cape has given a law firm 30 days to probe allegations of corruption and maladministration levelled against their suspended municipality manager, Thapelo Matlala. The municipal manager was placed on precautionary suspension this week following allegations of corruption against him. Sol Plaatje municipality speaker Dipuo Peters says they are confident the law firm will put the allegations to rest.
Today, Council resolved on an investigator. The investigator that has been identified as the state law advisors of the province, and we have given them 30 days based on the letter that they will receive, appointing them. 30 days with effect from that letter, they will come to council and give us a report on their findings. Remember, there is a litany of allegations, and those allegations must be investigated.
KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi has dismantled claims by controversial Northwest businessman Brown Mokgotsi that he is a police informant. Mkhwanazi has been giving evidence in the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, where he is continuing to show links between Mokgotsi and Vusumuzi Cat Matlala to the policing system. Mkhwanazi elaborates.
At the time, neither myself, the National Committee, or the project manager, Jal Kumalo, knew about this decision to close. Had we not arrested this Kat Matlala and have access to that phone, we probably might not have known about this. So this is just to display the level of connectivity that Brown Mokgotsi has in the police. Well, he said it in public that, which is on the record on TV, that he was with a part of the operation to bring Thabo Bester into the country. Brown Mokgotsi maybe is invited here. He will have to explain this involvement that he has, because he's not registered as a source in the police.
The Springbok Regional Court in the Northern Cape has sentenced a 25-year-old man to 15 years in prison for raping and kidnapping his former partner in 2024. Kone Cooper abducted his former partner, stabbed her and took her to his grandmother's residence where he sexually assaulted her. Provincial Police spokesperson Ivan Mackerman says Cooper pleaded guilty to all charges.
Corney Cooper was convicted and sentenced as follows. Count 1, rape 20 years imprisonment, 5 years suspended for 5 years. Count 2, kidnapping 10 years imprisonment. Count 3, assault GBH 3 years imprisonment. Count 4, housebreaking with the intent to steal 2 years imprisonment. Counts 2 and 3 and 4 will run concurrently with count number 1. The accused will serve an effective 15 years imprisonment.
The city of Tshwane says technicians are working to restore power to several areas in the city, including the Pretoria CBD, Jose Mampuru Correctional Centre and Pretoria West. The city says its assessments show that the theft and vandalism are behind the power outage. Tshwane spokesperson Lindela Mashiko says the damage requires complex repair work involving specialized equipment and highly skilled personnel.
Given the scale of the damage, an exact estimated time of restoration, that is ETR, cannot yet be confirmed yet. However, teams remain fully mobilized and will continue to work tirelessly until supply is restored. The city appeals to residents, businesses, and institutions for patience and understanding during this period.
A drone strike on a mosque in the city of Al Fashir in Darfur has reportedly killed 40 people as the civil war in Sudan intensifies. The paramilitary rapid support forces have been fighting to take over the city from the army as the only area in the Darfur region the RSF does not control. The BBC's Barbara Platt-Asher has the details.
The RSF launched another fierce attack on Al Fashir earlier this week, which the army claimed to have repelled. But the paramilitaries still appear to be advancing. On Friday, a resident of the city told the BBC that dozens of people were killed in a drone strike on a mosque during morning prayers. The RSF has also entered the main base of armed groups allied to the Sudanese military. A war monitor says it's also likely the group has taken over the Abu Shuk displaced persons camp at the edge of the city.
Recapping the top story, the Salt Plaatje municipality in the Northern Cape has given a law firm 30 days to probe allegations of corruption and maladministration levelled against their suspended municipality manager, Tapelo Matlala. I am Ndilambana for SAFM News.
Bongiwe Zwane on SAFM.
Thank you, Ondela. Let's take you back now to the commission that has just resumed.
It starts from 477 and it ends at 478 on the annexures. So